Origin Gents from Lucy Reaction. This is Top Gear, the most offensive clips in the world by the channel RJ Lupin. Yeah, to say Top Gear were one of the most offensive shows of the time is kind of an understatement. Actually, that's what made it, so good. They were unfiltered. They did what the hell they wanted, and that was so awesome. But that was also the reason that led to the downfall at Top Gear. Now they are at Grand Tour, Amazon Prime. So yeah, Clarkson punched some producer. So yeah, there you go. But that's what made it so awesome. So yeah, the best thing about it is, they offended everybody, every single person, even the British. I mean, obviously, lots of time they try to, say that British is best at everything because they're British, and they showed that we are saying this because we are British. They also showed it in that. They even gave the context. Like, we are saying this because we are British. They also did that. But lots of time they also, talk lots of shit about British people too. They talk about how everybody in Britain in Parliament are going crazy or something like that. All the laws there. So, that's the best thing about them. They trashed everybody, even their own country. And that was the most fun thing about them. Clarkson didn't care. He was saying controversial thing all the time. Even the late times. You think that was at the start, but no. Even in the late time, even the Burma episode, he offended lots of people. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. I reacted to quite a few, I reacted to quite a few different type of videos. So, check out the link in the description with all of my videos. Check out the cast, all the different playlists like Oli Sarcastic Production, Internet Historian, CGP Radio, Left Floor. And yeah, let's watch this one.
So what news have you got then, James, this week?
Actually, I've got some news from Korea.
You can't tell, can you, that Top Gear's just been sold?
I remember this episode.
Well, no, I don't think there's any evidence. I think we're smoothing this one out nicely.
It's not showing.
Hello, you industrious little fellows.
In this episode, they were talking lots of about, Korean news deliberately. So, because, Korea had the rights at the time. Also got the rights to show Top Gear there and things like that. So, they made the most of that here. I mean, anybody else would think like, okay, you know what? Our range is expanding. Now we are showing this show even in Korea. So let's be nice to them. They saw that and they're like, okay, let's make fun of them. That's so awesome, man. And I think this is season 9. Or is it season 10? I think it's season 10 or 9. I don't know. Their studio got burned down. That's why they have these sofas and seats, and they blamed Fifth Gear for that. That was so awesome.
That's got him on side. Well done. It's not like we've ever upset anyone.
I know. Well, there was the vicar whose tree I rammed in the Toyota pickup truck.
Yeah,
and everyone in Wales, and everyone in Birmingham.
Oh, they are talking about
in
that.
America. Yeah. Now it's unlikely.
There they were talking about that, like, why would somebody burn down a studio? We never offended anyone there.
To be here because everyone does 5. It's not going to be here because everyone's on drugs. That's all just full of ox. Al Gore says that's gone, so it's not going to be down there. That's full of spiders. Signposts here are all full of gibberish. They're all communists. Can't go there.
You see the seamlessness, the smoothness there, the way he was talking. He didn't even need to think about all those things. He just had it inside him. He just needed a medium to say all those things out loud. That was so good.
The Americans will shoot you.
No, no,
What?
thank you. All right.
Sadly, though, this was also too much for the US government.
I just wanted to make sure that you guys are doing the documentary.
Oh, it is a documentary. It's not like a fooling around show. No, it's a serious show.
Jeremy's sincerity wasn't convincing, and his hand gestures didn't help either.
Shut up, you goddamn Frenchy, cheesy.
I love that American thing in that, they just saw the small details. Like, American visa says that you can only shoot documentary style, nothing else, no entertainment. So they just took that and made it whole episode out of that. That was so good.
Eating surrender monkey.
Yep.
So if you're watching this in Saudi Arabia, time to break out your camel.
It's back to carpets for you.
Because I own a motorbike after that, Jeremy.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, a Motor Guzzi.
I didn't know you were homosexual.
Yes, absolutely. Most of my songs are about you.
Can I just say,
What?
you look like a gay cowboy and you look like a gay terrorist.
No, you look like a terrorist with a broken windscreen wiper and your face is ridiculous. We should do a car that's quintessentially German.
Well, just replace the spoons with little sausages.
No, no. Give it trafficators that go like that. A sat-nav that only goes to Poland.
Man, there are so many episodes. Clarkson constantly brings up the war and the Poland every single time. There was this commercial that he did, I think, you know, about, I don't know, cyclist or something. No, wait a minute, it was advertisement for Volkswagen. Yeah, they were doing this commercial type of thing. They were creating all this commercial, him and James Bay. And in the end, he created his own commercial, which all this intense movie type scenario. And in the end, he just, you know, wrote there, like, you know, from London to, wait a minute, was it London? No, from Berlin to Poland. Berlin to Warsaw in just one fuel tank. That was so awesome, man.
The fan belts have been lost for 1,000 years.
No, I don't think so.
Australians, yeah.
I just thought it would be nice for them to arrive back in the country the way their ancestors left.
There's a pleasing circularity to this.
Exactly.
That is thoughtful. Why would you want a Mexican car?
Oh, God.
Because cars reflect national
most controversial thing.
So German cars are sort of very well built and ruthlessly
Yeah.
efficient. Italian cars are a bit flamboyant and quick. Mexican cars just going to be a lazy, feckless, flatulent opening of stops. Leaning against a fence asleep, looking at a cactus with a blanket with a hole in the middle on as a coat.
Look at Clarkson's face. He's like, okay, I'm the most offensive guy here, and even I find this bit too much. People are saying that, you know, people are asking Clarkson to apologize, and Clarkson just plain out say, wait a minute, I didn't start this, the Hammond did that. Why are you coming after me? Even he's like, okay, this is going a bit too far.
It's interesting because they can't do food, the Mexicans, can they? Because it's all like sick with cheese on it. I mean,
Refried sick.
yeah, refried sick.
I'm sorry, but just imagine waking up and remembering you're Mexican.
It'd be brilliant. It'd be brilliant because you could just go straight back to sleep again. Oh, I'm a Mexican. I'm a Mexican.
All I'm going to do all day.
That's why we're not going to get any complaints about this, because the Mexican embassy, the ambassador's going to be sitting there with a remote control like this. They won't complain. Because this is a hard job, and I'm not just saying this to win.
At that time, you know, Top Gear was getting more worldwide. I mean, it was, you know, at the start, it was kind of big, but it was more European and certain countries thing. It wasn't global as it later became after, I guess, 10 or so season, 10, 15 season. So at that time, they didn't have this mentality like, wait a minute, people in Mexico could see this. I mean, people in other places could see this. People could complain about this. After what that happened, you know, it slowly became a global thing. I think only one country didn't show Top Gear. Otherwise, every single country in the world showed Top Gear. They were literally global phenomenon. But at that point, they were not that, so they didn't realize that. But afterwards, you're not going to see any specific, you know, offensive joke like that, because they realize, wait a minute, this is going around all around the world. So yes, say offensive things, but not like that. That will piss off lots of people.
Win favour with lorry drivers. It's a hard job. Change gear, change gear,
Murder
change gear,
prostitute.
check your mirrors, murder a prostitute, change gear, murder. Check your... That's a lot of effort in a day. That is.
Even with the compliment, he has to say that. That was his version of giving compliment to the, you know, truck drivers, basically.
A proud moment. But there's a slope on it.
You're right. It's definitely higher on that side.
That was the 19th season, one of the latest one, I think in 2010 or something. Even there, they're like, screw it, I'm gonna make this joke.
To America, this is what it's like. You got your Comfort Inn, you got your Best Western, you got your Red Lobster where you eat. Everybody's very fat, everybody's very stupid, and everybody's very rude. It's not the holiday programme, it's the truth. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. He
said that.
Let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I love how this guy who made this compiler, RJ Lupin, he actually, you know, enhanced the audio there so we could literally listen. Look at that, he really does say that.
It's the truth. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. When he squeals, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Tallest race on earth now, the Dutch. Officially. Mind you, they do take a lot of drugs. That's why they like Top Gear so much. Hello, Dutchie.
Bentley is owned by VW.
Yeah.
That car was styled by a Belgian, and it was engineered by a man called Ulrich Eichhorn. Doesn't sound very British.
Are you
does it?
presenting Top Gear, or are you writing a letter to the Daily Telegraph?
Well, I'm just saying that you know immediately that that car is German because it's got too much power. They've overdone it, as usual, like they did on their French holiday in 1939.
James, the Queen is German, but you
Yes.
don't sing Deutschland, Deutschland über alles every time she comes on the television, do you?
Well, I do, actually.
Yeah, he does.
They've nicked our airports, they've nicked all our fish, they've nicked all our building societies,
Spanish?
they eat the heads off prawns, they throw donkeys off tower blocks, and they stab cows.
So that's Spanish.
That is the Spanish. Anybody from Spain here?
Sorry.
Give me my fish back.
You know what? I just realized that it's eerie that after 22 seasons of, more than 10 years, about 10 years of program, I remember every single clip and every single episode of this show.
I changed from first to third on my pre-selection gearbox, which means technically I short shifted. When I say short, I don't mean that. I'm not being rude.
You keep saying short, don't you?
No, I meant I short shifted. I wasn't being clever.
Left turn coming up in a hairpin.
You're just telling me things you can see out the window now. You've got a cushion.
Meanwhile, back in PC world,
I didn't
PC
mean
world.
Jeremy's car was rubbish because it's a midget. I just meant that's what it is. It's an MG midget. I'm sorry.
Honestly, things I'd rather do than drive one of those include presenting next week's show while gently cupping James's scrotum.
And we're off the air in Korea.
Yeah, goodbye, industrial
Stay
civil
that Korea.
fires.
Oh, give me a minute. I'm going to have trouble shifting that vision now. That's...
Anyway,
You're gonna have trouble
we've
shifting
also
it.
been...
Yeah, that was so good, man. See, the thing with this is obviously not all of this is just, unscripted. Obviously, there's a script. Like, we're going to talk about these points. But that's where the scripts end. They just think like, okay, we're going to talk about Koreans. We're going to make a joke here, not specifying which joke, and things like that. But they don't write lines after lines like what we're going to talk about. That's the best thing. Nobody knows what's coming, They make a joke, and then news program lasts for what, 5 to 10 minutes in the show. In reality, it lasts for 20-25 minutes, and then they cut out way too offensive things and things like that. There are lots of clips on the YouTube where unaired news segments are there. So they film a lot and then cut it down. So their hourly program basically is like a 2 to 3 hour episode, but then they cut it down because lots of those things are way too offensive. So that's just great. I loved this show, man. I mean, Grand Tour was great, but I felt there was something off there. First of all, there was no stake. That was the issue. There are, Grand Tour has its moments, but the original Top Gear was so great. Even the later stages, people were like, they're losing their charm in the, 20 series, 21 series. But I thought their, a special thing, the specials they did was going up actually. The Australia special, Burma special, the African special. The quality was actually going up in those, and they were still offensive. They were still saying controversial thing, but with the age, their mentality changes, their priority changes. So you could see that their priority is changing. The stuff they're talking about is kind of different, but that's just it's just better that way. They don't have to talk about the same thing. But as soon as the Top Gear ended, Grand Tour was good, but I could feel like they're trying to make it successful because it's a new show, a new channel. I could see that, and I think that's why that program ended. Now they're just doing special because it probably didn't bring in enough views. First of all, it's an online subscription thing, so they can't have all their viewers back. Then they actually gave their rights to Grand Tour to some networks later on, so they could show around the world. But still, the timing was kind of lost. At the start, if the Amazon said like, okay, you know what, you can watch this on Amazon, but we also will sell the rights to some other network to make it so this is global, maybe they would have been saved. But they lost their audiences at first season because it wasn't telecast around the world. Then after 6 or 8 months later, they thought, okay, we're going to telecast this around the world. By then, people have just walked off. So yeah, they still have really great numbers, but not the same as Top Gear used to get. They used to get 8 or so million, 7 to 8 million views. That's more than Game of Thrones, did. Game of Thrones used to get 5-6 million. They used to get 8 millions. That just show you how big this show was. Alright people, that was the Top Gear, the most offensive clips in the world. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe so I know which type of videos to react to more. Comment down if you want to react to any other video. And yeah, I'll see you next time.